What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about At the Ready. So At the Ready is a brand new Gravitas Ventures film that I got to check out a little bit early. So thanks to those over at Gravitas Ventures who sent me over a screener for this. This movie comes out later this week on October 22nd and will be available in select theaters as well as on demand for rental and for purchase. And this is a documentary film directed by Maisie Crow. Not a director I'm overly familiar with, but yeah, I was definitely interested to go into this and check out what it was all about. And the basic idea of what this whole documentary is about is that we are following a group of students that are part of a law enforcement school program at a school in El Paso, Texas. And yeah, it's pretty much just a journey of their lives in this whole situation. Them wanting to become different, positions in the law enforcement world, whether it's a police officer, a border control, individual, whatever the case may be. So over the course of the film, there are certain students that they focus on really heavily, and then there's some that are just kind of there that may have a couple moments or things that they may do or say. But we have probably like 3 or 4 individuals that we're honing in on at specific portions of the film. And yeah, this is pretty much their journey in a way, just kind of the struggles that they may have at home. Some of them actually, getting jobs, some of them maybe changing what they want to do, some of them kind of having to battle these questions and the challenges of, what a job like this entails. And let me make it clear right out of the gate that anything in law enforcement is, a top tier job in terms of like just something that I would not ever envy. You know what I mean? You really got to be a certain kind of somebody, which is why we're seeing a lot of issues nowadays with, people who, are coming out as these, bad cops or these bad people in law enforcement, these corrupt individuals, because this is not a career that is just for anybody. It seems incredibly tense at all times. You have to make on-the-fly decisions at all times, and, people's lives are at stake, and a lot of times, people lose their lives because of law enforcement individuals. So, yeah, it's definitely not a job to be taken lightly. I definitely don't envy anybody who's in that very hard position. But yeah, it was interesting to see this movie and kind of see these individuals who, have this passion for it. And one thing that I think is definitely going to be a inevitable discussion around this film that I found interesting is majority of the students that we're seeing here want to work in something having to do with border control a lot of times because they are in El Paso, Texas. And majority of the students are all of, some sort of Hispanic descent or specifically Mexican. And it is something that is brought up in the film, and, you have certain students who maybe don't necessarily view, people on the other side in Mexico necessarily the right way. Maybe they kind of view them as pests, like they should be kept out, even though they themselves are Mexican. I feel like that's going to be something that definitely triggers a discussion. But then, of course, you have some students who feel the opposite. And so there was an interesting discussion to be had there. And I thought overall it was interesting to see the majority of the students that we are dealing with here are of some sort of, again, Hispanic descent, specifically Mexican, and a lot of them want to work in border control. So yeah, this just is a pretty much us seeing these students go through this little bit of school training and these various things throughout the course of the film as they kind of go on their journey to be a law enforcement individual or not. And overall, like I said, it was interesting information. It was interesting to see, but I was kind of bored throughout. I was never really interested in anybody's stories, even though some of these individuals either had like really sad or tragic stories. Some of them had, a little bit more positive stories. Some of them had very loving households. Some of them kind of had like very empty and cold households. So, there was that interesting element. I'm not a monster, these are real people's lives, and I can definitely appreciate everything that they're going through and everything that they kind of want to push through to be able to obtain these goals. But as a film in and of itself, as just a movie watcher, as somebody who does genuinely enjoy documentaries, this was just not one that really landed 100% with me. I wasn't 100% invested and engaged in what was going on, and ultimately I don't think this is a movie that I can necessarily give a big thumbs up to and a big recommendation to. So that's what I'll wrap up my thoughts on this. Also, I feel like this is a movie that's going to struggle to get out there, so if this does kind of intrigue you, if you're looking to get into law enforcement, check it out. So it's a harmless watch. But yeah, I don't think this movie's going to get out there that much. When I was even doing this and the stuff that I was sent to actually review this, there really isn't even a poster I could find online to add here. As you guys can see, there isn't a poster. So, I've had some trailer footage throughout this, and that's about it. That's all I can do. So, hopefully this movie does get out there and find its audience, as any movie should. But yeah, overall, I wasn't crazy about this movie. I saw that it was a Sundance Film Festival selection, which kind of surprised me. I just wasn't insane about this movie. You know, I thought it was definitely interesting, and you know, I guess a cool kind of peek into a different lifestyle, but it wasn't really something as a film that really kept me overly engaged. It was kind of slow, kind of boring, and that's kind of where I'll wrap up my thoughts on that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you're interested in checking this movie out, yeah, go ahead and check it out. It comes out October 22nd, and big thanks to you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.